Listen to me. Some of you waking up every day and all you see is what you don't have. But let me ask you a question. What if the only things you had tomorrow were the things you were grateful for today? You got to stop focusing on the pain and start praising through the process. Gratitude ain't just about saying thank you. It's about living thank you. It's about showing up with fire, with hunger, with appreciation for every breath you take. Some of y'all are waiting for something big to be thankful for. Now you got a bed, be grateful. You got air in your lungs, be grateful. You got a dream in your heart, be grateful. Because gratitude turns what you have into enough. Gratitude shifts your attitude. It turns storms into strength. It makes the grind feel worth it. When you start being thankful even for the struggle, you become dangerous. You start attracting more. You start seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. Gratitude is power, not soft, not weak, power. You want to change your life? Don't wait. Wake up, lock in, and be grateful even before the blessing shows up. Gratitude is perspective. It's the lens through which we see our world, and when that lens is clean, everything shifts. Life doesn't change just because we get more. Sometimes life changes because we see more, because we notice more. When you walk through life focused on what you don't have, what you haven't achieved, what's missing, then that becomes your reality. You feel stuck. You feel like you're behind. You wake up already defeated, but when you walk in gratitude, your eyes are open to the blessings that were there the whole time. See, what most people don't realize is that your mindset is the gatekeeper of your reality. Two people can go through the same storm and come out with two completely different stories. One says, that broke me. The other says, that built me. The difference ain't what happened. The difference is what they focused on. The one who was grateful for the lesson, the growth, the strength they gained in the fire, that person came out stronger. That person saw purpose in pain because their perspective was rooted in gratitude. You ever met somebody who has less than you, but somehow they seem happier? That's gratitude at work. That's the power of perspective. They're not blind to their problems. They've just decided to put more energy into their praise than their pain. They know what they're lacking, but they choose to focus on what they do have. That's not naive. That's powerful. Because that mindset gives you energy. It gives you hope. And it gives you the fuel to keep moving, even when things aren't perfect. Too many of us are waiting for everything to line up before we start being thankful. Waiting for the big house, the big break, the dream job, the relationship, the financial freedom. But what if I told you that being grateful before the breakthrough is what brings the breakthrough? What if I told you that gratitude isn't the result of success, it's the foundation of it? Because when you live in gratitude, you start to value what you have. And what you value, you take care of. What you take care of grows. That job you hate, if you start showing up thankful, watch how your performance changes. Watch how your attitude shifts. Watch how people respond to you. Watch how new doors start to open. Gratitude isn't about settling. It's not saying I'm okay with less. It's saying I'm going to honor what I have while I work for more. That's the key. Honoring the present while building the future. And when you get that mindset, when you lock in on that energy, your life changes. You stop complaining. You stop comparing. You stop waiting for happiness to find you and start creating it in the moment. Right now. Perspective means you stop magnifying your problems and start magnifying your blessings. Instead of waking up and thinking about everything you don't have, you start the day with gratitude. Thankful for waking up. Thankful for health. Thankful for the people who love you. Thankful for the second chance. Thankful for the ability to breathe, move, speak, dream. When you build a habit of gratitude, it changes your brain. Literally. Science backs this up. Your mental health improves. Your stress levels drop. You become more optimistic, more hopeful. Not because the world got easier, but because you got stronger. Because you started to see the good that was always there. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to focus on what we lack. Social media is full of highlight reels. Ads are designed to make us feel incomplete. Everywhere we turn, it's a reminder that we don't have enough. We're not enough. But gratitude silences that noise. It's a quiet rebellion against the culture of more. Gratitude says, I am already blessed. I have already won in so many ways. I may not be where I want to be yet, but I'm not where I used to be. That's perspective. That's strength. And it's not just about looking backwards. Gratitude also shapes how we look forward. When you're thankful, you start expecting good things. You start believing that life has more in store for you, not because you're entitled, but because you recognize how good it's already been. That kind of expectation moves you with purpose. It drives you with hope. You begin to believe that if you stay faithful, if you stay grateful, even greater things are coming. And that belief, that's powerful. That's fuel for the journey. You want to elevate your life, shift your perspective, start seeing what you've been overlooking. That friend who always checks in on you, that's a blessing. That roof over your head, that's a blessing. That second chance you didn't deserve but got anyway, that's a blessing. The more you recognize them, the more you realize just how surrounded you are by grace. You start to walk different, talk different, grind different. Because now you're not hustling from a place of lack, you're building from a place of abundance. The world won't always change for you. Life won't always be fair, but you get to choose how you see it. And when you choose gratitude, when you decide to live thankful, not just on good days, but every day, that's when the shift happens. That's when you rise. That's when your vision clears, your spirit lifts, and your hustle catches fire. Because now you're not just chasing success, you're carrying perspective. And that's a power nobody can take from you. Gratitude fuels resilience. When life hits hard, and it will hit hard, it's not always strength or talent or intelligence that gets you through. It's resilience. It's the ability to get knocked down 7 times and stand up 8. And that kind of strength, it doesn't come from the outside. It doesn't come from people clapping for you or life being easy or everything going your way. Real resilience is born in the storm. And gratitude is the anchor that holds you down when the waves start crashing. See, gratitude and resilience are more connected than most people realize. Because when you're in pain, when things are going wrong, and you still find something to be thankful for, that's power. That's choosing to see hope when everything feels hopeless. That's refusing to give your pain permission to define your perspective. Gratitude doesn't erase the hardship, but it reframes it. It tells you, yes, this is hard, but I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I still have something to fight for. Most people think gratitude is only for the good times, for the moments when everything's lined up and the sun is shining. But that's surface level gratitude. That's convenient gratitude. The kind that's easy, the kind that doesn't cost anything. But the real power of gratitude shows up when it's dark, when you don't have the answers, when your heart is broken, your plan fell apart, and you got nothing but faith to hold on to. That's where gratitude becomes a weapon, a tool, a lifeline. Because gratitude gives you the ability to look at pain and say, you will not break me. You can lose the job and still be grateful for the experience you gained. You can fail the class and still be grateful you have another shot. You can get betrayed and still be grateful that truth was revealed. Gratitude doesn't deny the hurt, it just refuses to let the hurt steal your power. It says this situation isn't ideal, but I'm still blessed. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. You ever been through something so heavy, so painful, you didn't know how you were going to make it, and somehow days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and you realized you did make it? You came out on the other side. You scarred, sure, you tired, but you survived. Now ask yourself, how did you do it? What kept you going? Deep down, it was your perspective. Even in your lowest moments, there was something in you that said, keep moving. And if you dig even deeper, you'll see that the root of that voice was gratitude. You were grateful for your future. Grateful that there was still more life ahead. Even if you couldn't see it clearly, you believed it was there. And that belief is what kept you going. Resilience isn't about pretending everything's okay. It's about finding reasons to keep moving forward anyway. And gratitude helps you find those reasons. Even if it's just one thing, one friend who's checking in on you, one goal you haven't given up on, one breath, one step. Gratitude helps you hold on to those things, and those things carry you when your strength runs low. Here's the truth. Life is never going to be perfect. There will always be challenges, always be setbacks. But if you can develop the ability to be thankful in the storm, not just after it passes, then the storm loses its power over you. It can shake you, but it can't sink you because now you're rooted. You're grounded in something deeper than circumstances. You're connected to purpose. And that's the source of resilience. Think about a tree in the wind. The ones that stand strong aren't the ones that resist the wind. They're the ones with deep roots. That's what gratitude does. It gives you roots. So when life tries to knock you over, you bend, but you don't break. You might sway, but you don't snap because you're grounded in something that's bigger than your problems. You've trained your heart and your mind to look for good, to hold on to hope, to find light, even when it's barely flickering. And when you practice gratitude, it builds momentum. One small moment of thankfulness turns into another. You start to notice progress you used to ignore. You start to see strength in yourself that you didn't recognize before. You start to remember, if I got through that, I can get through this. That memory, that awareness, that's resilience. It's not just about surviving either. Gratitude helps you recover faster, helps you bounce back with clarity instead of bitterness. When something goes wrong, people who live in gratitude don't get stuck in blame or shame. They look for the lesson. They ask, what did this teach me? How can I grow from this? That mindset helps you heal. It helps you evolve. It turns the struggle into strength and the wounds into wisdom. And here's what's amazing. That kind of resilience becomes contagious. When you walk through fire with gratitude, other people notice. They're inspired by your attitude. They see that it's possible to suffer and still smile, to lose and still lead, to fall and still get back up with a spirit that says, this didn't defeat me, it developed me. So no, gratitude doesn't mean everything's easy. It means you're choosing to focus on what fuels you, not what drains you. It means you're reaching for reasons to be hopeful instead of giving into fear. It means you're using thankfulness as your weapon, your compass, your shield. You want to be unshakable? Start practicing gratitude even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because every time you give thanks in the storm, your resilience grows stronger. You become the kind of person that not only survives life's punches, you rise from them better, wiser, stronger. Gratitude isn't weakness. It's not soft. It's not passive. Gratitude is the fuel that powers warriors. It's the mindset of champions. It's the heartbeat of the unbreakable. When you understand that, when you live that, there's nothing life can throw at you that you can't handle. Gratitude transforms your relationships. The people in your life, your friends, family, colleagues, even the strangers you encounter are all part of a bigger picture. Relationships are the currency of life. The connections we form with others, the love we share, and the respect we give are the pillars that hold us up during tough times. And yet, how often do we take these relationships for granted? How often do we forget to show appreciation for the people who stand by us, the ones who encourage us, or even the ones who challenge us? Gratitude can completely reshape the way we interact with the world, but especially with those who matter most. Think about it. Relationships are built on understanding, respect, and appreciation. When you practice gratitude, you start seeing the value in others, in their presence, in their contributions. It's easy to get caught up in the demands of life and take the people around you for granted, but gratitude shifts your focus. It pulls you away from self-centered thinking and opens your eyes to the love, effort, and energy others are putting into your life. It allows you to truly see them for who they are, and it reminds you of why they matter in the first place. When you make a habit of showing gratitude, it deepens your connections. Think about how you feel when someone genuinely thanks you. When they acknowledge your efforts, when they express appreciation for what you do, it makes you feel seen. It makes you feel valued. And that feeling of being seen, of being appreciated, is something every human craves. So why wouldn't you offer that same acknowledgement to the people in your life? Gratitude is a way of honoring those who matter to you. It's a way of saying, I don't take you for granted. I recognize your worth, and I am thankful for your role in my life. One of the most beautiful things about gratitude is its ability to create a ripple effect. When you express appreciation to someone, it's not just a one-way street. It ignites something in them. They begin to feel valued, and in turn, they become more inclined to show kindness and appreciation to others. This cycle of gratitude creates stronger, more positive connections. It fosters an environment where love, trust, and mutual respect flourish. The more you practice gratitude in your relationships, the stronger those relationships will become. You begin to build an atmosphere where understanding reigns and where everyone feels supported. But it's not just about showing gratitude when things are easy or when someone does something that directly benefits you. The true power of gratitude lies in showing appreciation even when it's hard. Sometimes relationships go through difficult phases. We argue, we misunderstand each other, or we simply drift apart for a time. In those moments, it's easy to focus on what's wrong, to point fingers and to feel resentment, but gratitude helps us see beyond the conflict. It encourages us to look at the bigger picture, the shared experiences, the love we've built over time, the lessons we've learned together. Gratitude in these moments doesn't mean ignoring the issues. It means acknowledging the value in the relationship and in the person, even when things aren't perfect. It's also about expressing appreciation, not just for the good times, but for the challenges. Every difficult moment in a relationship has the potential to teach us something. It could be a lesson in patience, in communication, or in compromise. Gratitude allows us to see the growth that comes from working through tough situations together. When you recognize and express gratitude for that, it strengthens the foundation of the relationship, making it more resilient. Instead of letting conflicts divide you, gratitude can bring you closer. It allows you to find meaning in the struggles and helps you appreciate the bonds you share even more. In romantic relationships, gratitude is particularly powerful. It's easy to fall into a pattern of taking each other for granted, especially after years of being together. But when you take the time to thank your partner, to express how much they mean to you, you remind them of their value in your life. It doesn't have to be grand gestures. Sometimes it's the little things, a compliment, a thoughtful note, or simply saying thank you for the everyday acts of kindness. These moments of appreciation build up over time and create a sense of security and happiness in the relationship. They foster a deeper emotional connection and help both partners feel cherished and loved. In friendships, gratitude works in the same way. True friends are those who support you through thick and thin. They listen to you, offer advice, and are there for you when no one else is. But how often do we pause to thank our friends for just being there? Gratitude reminds us to recognize the effort our friends put into maintaining the bond. It encourages us to celebrate their qualities, to acknowledge the little things they do that make our lives better. When we express our appreciation, we not only strengthen the friendship, but also make it more meaningful. It turns a good friendship into a great one, rooted in mutual respect and understanding. At work, gratitude can transform the entire culture of a team. In any organization, people are constantly working together to achieve goals. But often, the hard work of others goes unnoticed, especially when we're focused on deadlines or our own responsibilities. However, when gratitude is present, the atmosphere shifts. People feel more motivated, more appreciated, and more connected to the team's mission. Gratitude can be as simple as acknowledging a colleague's effort or expressing thanks for their collaboration. This small act can have a profound impact, increasing productivity, morale, and trust within the workplace. The beauty of gratitude in relationships is that it's not limited to the people closest to you. It has the power to transform every interaction, from the cashier at the store to the neighbor you barely know. When you take the time to thank people, to acknowledge their presence and their efforts, you make the world a little bit brighter. You spread kindness and warmth, and that energy is contagious. The more you practice gratitude in your relationships, the more you create a network of positivity, a web of support that lifts you and those around you. Gratitude also teaches you to let go of grudges and resentment. Holding on to past hurts keeps you stuck in the past, preventing you from fully embracing the present moment and the people who are in it. When you practice gratitude, you start to realize that carrying bitterness only weighs you down. It clouds your ability to see the good in others and in yourself. Gratitude frees you from that burden. It allows you to forgive, to move forward, and to appreciate the people around you for who they are, not for their mistakes. Ultimately, gratitude transforms relationships because it shifts the focus from what's lacking to what's already present. It allows us to see the richness in the connections we have, to honor the people who walk alongside us. Gratitude doesn't just make us better at relationships, it makes us better people. It encourages empathy, deepens understanding, and fosters love. When we live with gratitude, we change not just our own lives, but the lives of everyone we encounter. Gratitude enhances your mental and emotional well-being. In a world that's often fast-paced, chaotic, and filled with distractions, it's easy to overlook the importance of our mental health. We spend so much time focusing on external achievements or career, finances, social media presence that we sometimes forget to check in with ourselves emotionally. But mental health is just as important as physical health, and gratitude is a powerful tool to improve both. It can act as a kind of emotional reset button, helping us reframe negative thoughts and focus on the positive aspects of our lives. Our thoughts have immense power over our emotions. When we focus on what's wrong, what we lack, or what we fear, it creates a mental and emotional drain. We begin to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or depressed. But when we consciously practice gratitude, we shift our focus. Instead of dwelling on scarcity or negativity, we begin to acknowledge abundance, even if it's in small, seemingly insignificant things. By doing so, we begin to see that the world isn't as bleak as it sometimes seems. Gratitude helps us realize that despite the challenges, there's still much to be thankful for. It's a simple yet profound shift in perspective that can have a lasting impact on our mental and emotional health. One of the ways gratitude improves mental health is by reducing stress. Stress in many ways stems from our tendency to focus on problems, difficulties, and things we cannot control. This can lead to a cycle of rumination where our minds keep replaying worries, anxieties, and fears, but gratitude interrupts this cycle. When we practice gratitude, we focus on the present moment, not the worries about the future or the regrets about the past. We take time to appreciate the good things in our lives, no matter how small they may seem. This shift in focus can break the constant loop of negative thinking, helping us manage stress and promoting a sense of calm. Gratitude also helps to combat negative emotions like anger, frustration, and resentment. These emotions are often a result of feeling wronged, hurt, or overlooked. They can linger, weighing us down and affecting how we interact with others. But when we actively practice gratitude, we begin to reframe our experiences. We learn to appreciate what we have, rather than fixating on what we don't. Instead of resenting someone for what they've done or focusing on the things that didn't go our way, gratitude encourages us to seek out the positives in the situation. This doesn't mean ignoring our pain or pretending everything is perfect. It means acknowledging that even in difficult times, there are moments of grace, support, and love. Gratitude teaches us to focus on what we can control, which is our response to the situation. Another powerful aspect of gratitude is its ability to enhance our sense of self-worth. Many of us struggle with feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and low self-esteem. We compare ourselves to others, focus on our flaws, and forget to appreciate our unique qualities. But when we practice gratitude, we begin to see ourselves in a different light. We appreciate what we've accomplished, acknowledge our strengths, and recognize the value we bring to the world. This shift in self-perception can be life-changing. By expressing gratitude for ourselves, our bodies, our minds, our abilities, we begin to feel more confident, capable, and deserving of happiness. Furthermore, gratitude is closely linked to improved emotional resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and emotional setbacks are inevitable. Whether it's a loss, a disappointment, or a failure, we all face moments that challenge our emotional strength. In these times, it's easy to feel defeated, to think that we'll never bounce back. But gratitude can help us build resilience. When we express gratitude, even in the darkest moments, we strengthen our ability to cope with hardship. We begin to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. We learn to embrace the process of healing and transformation. Gratitude doesn't eliminate pain, but it helps us navigate it with grace and determination. In addition to strengthening our emotional resilience, gratitude promotes positive emotions. While it's natural to experience negative emotions, anger, sadness, fear, frustration, gratitude helps to balance them. By regularly acknowledging the things we're thankful for, we cultivate a more optimistic mindset. We begin to notice the small joys in life, the warmth of the sun, the laughter of a friend, the comfort of a cozy home. These moments of gratitude create a sense of fulfillment and contentment. They help us focus on what's going right rather than what's going wrong. As a result, we experience more joy, more peace, and more satisfaction in our lives.